January 1st. So these positions have been there since, to make sure that we were providing a continuity of services. They have been funding these positions. So I wanted to make sure that we got the contracts signed so that we can get them paid.
And Erin, we only have one care coordinator at the jail?
Yes. Yeah, we only have one. There are two therapists. One is hard funded by the county, and then the other one is paid through this grant. But for the care coordinator, we only have the one.
And the care coordinator, you said, helps with up to 3 months of work with people after they get out of jail?
Yes.
Jeez.
Specifically for people with mental health.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it is a lot for one person. This position used to be what, is kind of called a peer support specialist. So it used to be somebody who was a peer, somebody who had lived experience and would work with folks to kind of help them get stabilized and connected to services. And it is a lot for one person. It would be great to expand it at some point, although I do think there's also the challenge of sometimes once people get out of jail, they're kind of, it runs the full spectrum, but some people are kind of like, see ya, once they're out, and then other people are, appreciate the support and can really rely on that service. So I think there's
the care coordinator more mental health, or do they help with getting people tied into all types of services related to everything from work to housing?
They work specifically with people who have been identified with a behavioral health issue, but they do help with anything that a caseworker would, a case manager would. So they can help them get connected to housing services.
Let's say, but if a person wasn't involved with behavioral health issues or having those issues tended to when they were in jail, would they have access to this person to help getting tied in with services that any person re-entering society might need help with, like housing and work and childcare and all that sort of thing?
No. So since this is funded through this crisis mental health service grant, we can only assist people who have been identified as having a behavioral health issue.
That's super helpful. I've been working on something related to this with Kristen Jordan, and this makes it much more clear, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. So I think that they could probably really support each other.
Yeah, good.
Well, then I move to approve the professional services agreement with Western Montana Mental Health. Can I do these together? And just both of them.
Second.
Items 1 and 2. Good.
There we go. That's all I meant to say. Thanks.
All in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. Perfect. Great. Thank you, Erin.
All right. Yeah, thanks everyone, and don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Well, now it's the Vicki Zier show for items 3 through 7.
So items number 3 through 6, we're canceling special district elections. These are the last 4 resolutions that I'm asking you to do. Number 3 is for the Clinton Irrigation District. There were 2 positions available. We had 1 individual file for the 3-year term. We have 1 that's still an unvacant term, which you would appoint through interviewing. So what number 3, we would ask that you elect by acclamation Patrick A. Byrne and cancel that election. Number 4 is for the Sealy Swan Hospital District, and we have 2 3-year terms. We received 1 nomination form from Twyla Johnson, so we are asking that you elect by acclamation Twyla Johnson, and there is still 1 remaining 3-year term that you would need to try to appoint through interviews. And the next one is Sunny Meadows Sewer and Water District election.
Where is that?
Sunny Meadows is Sunny Meadows, I think it's north or west of town.
This is John Hart.
On its logo.
It's in East Missoula, sort of between the Brick House Hill and Marshall Grade.
Oh, okay.
It's all of that development up against Mount Jumbo.
The hill there. Okay, got it.
Okay, so the Sunny Meadows Sewer and Water District, we have 3 4-year terms. We had 2 individuals apply, Megan Quigley and Michael Bushy. We are asking that you elect by acclamation those 2. We still have 1 remaining term available that you can interview for. And the last one, number 6, is Spring Meadows Water District, and they had 3 4-year terms. We had 1 individual apply, Wendell Peterson. That leaves 2 4-year terms still to be vacant. And that's my report.
And where is the Spring Meadows Water District?
That one I have no idea.
Okay.
That is where I live, out behind Jim and Mary's.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
So that's like the Y. Is that where?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. I'll move items 3 through 6.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great, well done. Thanks, Vicki. And then we have a standard employment agreement with an empty spot for presenter. So I'll just read this out loud then. Request board approved standard employment agreement between Cassandra Cabrin, clinic manager and Partnership Health Center, Missoula County, with a pay rate of $35 an hour, budgeted at 40 hours a week.
I
What
move
do you all think?
Why not?
I think the PHC will like Cassandra Cavern, so thank you.
I think you're right.
Second.
I have no idea who she is.
Yeah. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh,
All right,
I
great.
just
They get to have a clinic manager, which is a good thing. If you have a clinic, it should be managed.
Oi,
And do
I
we
just
have
got
any? We have any?
text.
Annie, would you note that Chris has joined is present?
Chris has joined the meeting.
Yep.
Yeah, I did. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Thank you.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, just wondering, do we want to send a note of condolence to the Lake County Sheriff's Office?
I think that's a great idea.
I wrote them just a quick note just to the 2 commissioners, but yes, I'd love to send a bigger one.
So I have a couple sympathy cards I was going to prepare for you guys and just put the Board of County Commissioners, one to the Lake County Sheriff's Department. They lost a deputy this weekend. And then to this county, if that's okay. I've got some sympathy cards at home and I would just send them out for you guys.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's really great. Thanks.
It helps that you have such beautiful penmanship too, Vicki.
You too, Vicki. You have really good penmanship.
Thank you.
All right. Review of board meetings, upcoming meetings, etc.
I will be, this will be an interesting one to report back on. I'll be meeting with Montana Rail Link this afternoon.
Oh,
Nice, Dave. That's great.
So
That's great. The first of many, I'm going to say.
hopefully productive. It's with the president of
who are
the
you-
company, so we'll see how it goes.
My. Yeah. Is Halligan going to sit in on that?
Yeah, it'll be Halligan, the
Good.
president of the company, and a couple of VPs, and the much rumored financiers from Bozeman, I think, will also be on the line. So,
ooh.
Jeez. Wow. Man.
stay
There's
tuned.
something about this that just feels really 19th century, like you should all be smoking cigars and wearing funny suits. It just feels that way.
We'll see if we can find you a beaver skin top hat.
To cut down on the glare. Is that?
No, to go with your cigar
Fit right in.
and
Oh,
brandy
Yeah,
sister.
yeah. Flintlock Strohmeyer. That's what we'll call him. Good. All right. Well, and should we jump into the next one? There's this small pandemic going on that we'd like to talk about.
How did today's call go? And then I guess I was wanting to hear if MEP updates or finance freak out.
So yeah, I can talk about the MAC call, which was short, and the mayor had something else going on. So I walked through the agenda, and I think that probably cut down on attendance, which made it for a quick meeting. There wasn't much from MEP. The interesting thing about this was with Adrian was sharing things, and because there weren't very many people, I was able just to kind of pepper her with questions, and listening to her describe the saga of trying to acquire PPE shed light on what is otherwise just sort of a news story we hear about in the national news, but to hear it real live was kind of amazing. So apparently she's been working with some folks in Gallatin County who have a relationship with a company in China, and they're getting some more PPE that way. She's also got some PPE coming from the National Strategic Stockpile, but some of it is expired, but they're figuring out what they can use safely. And they have requests in with the state, and the state turns those requests over to the federal government. So it's this multi-pronged approach to trying to get something that's super crucial. And meanwhile, the prices soared. She described these masks a couple months ago as a little more than $1 a piece, and now they're over $5 a piece.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that, this just seems, I don't want to be, it seems like one where a larger government that could buy in bulk could really play a solid role. And meanwhile, we have our federal government kind of being involved, but in this sort of a hazy way that hasn't really been pinned down, and the state pushing on them. And then we're trying to do these super clever sideways deals with Chinese companies, all on our own. Just a really interesting mix. So that was my takeaway from the MAC this morning. And yeah, that's what I got out of the MAC. And then sounds like all these COAD groups, task forces are meeting and doing things out in the world, and they're all getting together on Thursday to share information with each other. Yeah. So Chris, this is something Dave and Juan and I had emailed back and forth about. What about seeing if we could get the liaison person from each one of these task forces to come chat with us to do a bit of an update, and to be super clear, this isn't to get into the weeds or tell people what to do. We are aware that often these liaisons or people running these task forces aren't county employees. This is really just so we could get a sense of what's happening and to offer our help and access to resources, including our congressional delegation, if there's some way we could help. So hopefully, I get that there's a lot of people involved, but if it's possible to arrange such a thing, that would really be wonderful.
Yeah, I can work with Sarah and see if there's a way we could do that.
Thank you. That would be great.
I guess on a similar note, what about circling up with representatives from our congressional delegation? And that locally would be Deb Franzen, Sonny, and
Yes.
Danielle from Dane's office. I think particularly in light of the fact that things appear to be moving rapidly on a fourth bill, COVID-19 bill related to maybe more on the recovery side, infrastructure-wise. I would hate for us to not have our voices in the mix sooner rather than later.
I think that's a great idea.
That's really good. And, also given what kind of was flurrying around in email this morning, that Melissa had begun to navigate this process of getting some money in a similar way from HUD and CDBG, the way that the city did, and to have some advocates working for us might be really helpful.
Can we do that? Oh, sorry. Can we meet with all three of them together?
Yeah,
sure.
Totally.
Sure.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I don't want to
definitely
do like separate. I love for them to all.
No, we should have them all together. Yeah.
That'd be great.
That's good. At that same conversation with them too, I'd like to get some more insight into these payroll protection SBA loans. My family farm has been trying to get in on some of this, and the people at our local bank have been super cooperative, but it seems like there's a lot of opacity beyond the local bank side. And if these guys have any insight into that, it would be wonderful.
Well, and something else that occurred to me, thinking back on the kind of infrastructure stimulus package back in the 2000s following the last big recession, it got me thinking, okay, if we're still when I think we are still pursuing acquisition of the federal building, might there be dollars that would be available for that? And it could be a prime opportunity to tap into some funding streams that might otherwise not be available.
Yeah. Hmm. Any of you all out there have any COVID-ish things you'd like to talk about?
COVID-ish.
Well, I guess I'll throw in one other thing, just following up on some of our discussion yesterday as far as a possible BCC outreach video to the community councils. Is that something we'd still be interested in doing? And maybe we could just carve out some time later in the week to just sit down and do a three-way video of some sort.
That would be great.
I'd love to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be good too.
Let me know if you need anything from me on that.
I think you would be the person we would be working with.
Well, I'm going to point you to Emmy and Casey because they're the ones who do the recording. But if you guys need help with developing what you want to say, I'm happy to help you. And then we'll ask Arabelle to push it out to the community councils.
Yeah. Why don't we do and we could schedule a conversation where the three of us talk with you about things we want to talk about, and then we can schedule a time to do the video.
Sure thing.
Great.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Do we have anything else out there?
This is Vicki. I just would also encourage you. We talked a little bit about it on Friday night, that maybe early next week, if you're going to do this video this week, maybe next week do something, especially to the first responders, EOC, health department, thanking them for the job they're doing. I think, they're working hard, and it might not hurt to just hear from the three of you.
Well, would it be worthwhile? I wonder if that ought to be our priority over the community councils, not to diminish the importance of reaching out to the community councils, but if we're going to do one each week, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well,
I almost think that that one is less complicated, and we could probably, if we had 45 minutes of Casey's time, we could knock that one. These things are going to be short, less than 10 minutes. We could knock them both out in one session, and one is just a really, really kind of passionate and profound thank you, and the other one is a little more informative. We might not have to do them a week apart.
Yeah, I like that
time.
Let's do it.
I would, and also, I would think that they would have to be even shorter than 10 minutes. Like I'm thinking like 2 minutes. Like I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, the thank you, the ones to the community council, we can have a little more info in there. They probably would appreciate hearing some more details if they haven't got them already.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But we can talk about that with Ann.
Perfect. Okay.
I would agree.
Good. All right. Anything else? How are we all set up for our upcoming public meetings, technologically, et cetera? Everything's all good?
I think so.
Yeah.
Great.
How'd the press release seemed to look pretty good yesterday.
Press conference?
I mean, press conference.
Yeah. So that was in city council chambers, and your meeting's not going to be in city council chambers. You're going to do your meeting via Teams this week, and Emmy's pretty dialed on how to do this. I think you guys should be good. She did that test meeting last week, and she's pretty comfortable. with it.
Perfect.
So you
Awesome.
guys should be set. It'll look a lot like this.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Are there tips that we can do for like would it be better like if I were in my closet instead of at my desk? Is the sound bad? Like I'm trying to figure out how to make these the visual and the audio better, and I don't know how to do that.
I'm hearing you really well right now. Everyone's looking really good. All the picture quality is really clear. I'm hearing everyone.
Okay.
I think the quality on
Nobody's-
this call's been great.
Yeah, just don't do it in your bathrooms. That's probably a bad idea.
Yeah,
I
please
feel
don't.
like it's time to make a pants optional joke.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yay!
All right.
My colorful leggings, right? Okay. Okay. Well, thanks so much, everyone.
Yeah,
Is this-
thank you all. It feels like we're bumbling along.
I like bumbling along with you guys. Like this feels good. I don't know what
Good.
who else is still on and what John Hart thinks of this, but
I'm loving it, commissioners.
okay.
Yeah, I think this is not so bad for John.
My
He's
my
adapting
hair's
well.
going a little bit feral these days, so I'm not going on video right now. I'll
Yeah.
clean myself up for Thursday afternoon in case you got to look at me.
Okay.
All right, good. Some